So, I figured it would be a good opportunity for me in kind of an off week here because of my every other week release schedule that I do something kind of different. Most of my videos that I make, I kind of give you an idea of what I'm throwing very quickly, but I don't really explain what it does. So, I think it would be a good opportunity for me to just kind of pull out the discs in my bag, give you an in the bag, show you what I'm throwing, and kind of explain real quick what these things actually do. Let's check it out. Okay. Let's start at the bottom and go up. We'll start with the slow speeds and go to the higher speed stuff. So first off, putting putters. I switched those recently this year. You may noticed in prior videos I was probably using a Nomad or an Envy. I have switched to the Doomsday Bleak. These things, profile-wise, if you look at them from the side, look like a P2, but they're way straighter. These things are super straight. I absolutely love them, and it's literally the only thing that I carry right now that's not MVP or Axiom. Throwing putters. I love the Envy. I have Neutron Soft, old patent pending run, Neutron, old patent pending run, and then a beat up old medium Cosmic Electron one. So overstable, stable, and then unstable to understable. So they can kind of do all the jobs that I need to. It's really hard to beat the Envy as a throwing putter. And then a couple of utilities. I've got the Entropy for now. Kind of fall in and out of love with the Entropy. Love it for backhands, not a fan for forehands. It's just really just a touch too deep. And then, of course, the glitch. Got to have the glitch. The glitch is great for those those really long outside jump putts because it's got such a ridiculous glide. Or just a little warm-up disc or nice straight tunnel shots. This disc really is much better than just, having something to warm up with. So, pretty useful disc. Can't recommend it enough. So that's what I have for putters. Okay, let's move on to mids. Mid-ranges. I've got 3 or 4 different ones. First and foremost, the Hex. Love the Hex. I keep one in the bag that's about 169 grams and one that's around 175. This one will have a little more bite at the end. Won't really turn over as hard. This one, the 169 one, laser straight, little bit of turn, kind of comes back to center. This is a do-everything mid. I love it. Absolutely love it. Then the reactor. This is just like an overstable component to that. If you haven't used them before, I've got a Cosmic Neutron one and a Eclipse one. This has got a little bit more overstability to it. Nice overstable mid-range, not too overstable. That's this one's job, the Pyro. Nice overstable mid that I can forehand and backhand, and I know it's not going to flip over. It's going to come back. This has kind of taken the place of the Entropy more often than not because it is way more comfortable for me to forehand. And then the flippy mid. I have the Theory. Yes, these are out of production, and I find that to be a massive bummer. So I hoard them whenever I find them. This tunnel shot's super straight to understable. I can get some understable flight out of it too. I can get it to turn over and not come back, or I can flip this up and have it do super straight tunnel shots. I love this disc. I don't use it all the time, but man, do I wish they wouldn't have taken out of production. Really a wonderful disc. And that's it for mids. All right, let's get into fairways. My bread and butter. My favorite kind of class of disc. First and foremost, a disc that I've recently grown to love within the last maybe 2 seasons. I had one very long ago, didn't jive with me at the time, but now I absolutely can't live without them, and that is the Crave. I carry 3 Craves at any given time. I have a Fission one, a Sarah Hokum Neutron Crave, and then a Proton Crave. So the Hokum one will turn over, maybe come back to center if the conditions are right. But love this for more understable shots. Fission, this is my go-to 9 times out of 10. This one is super straight. Love this for tunnel shots. Long tunnel shots up to like 350, maybe a touch more. But yeah, this is one of my favorites. And then I have the Proton one, which is a little more overstable. A little bit of bite to finish. Won't turn over quite as hard. I love these for in the woods. I recently played at the Dark Ace Open, and I used Craves more often than just about anything else. All right, next. My all-time favorite disc by a country mile. The Resistor. I carry 3 resistors. You've probably seen me throw them a million times in my videos. I carry an old patent pending Neutron. The old Proton runs, which in my opinion are the greatest run that they ever did. Please do them again. MVP. And then I carry an Eclipse one. So in order of stability, I mean, this one stays a little bit straighter, a little bit longer, a little less bite at the end because it is so beat up. This one, the Proton one's a little more bite, a little more stability. An amazing forehand disc. I absolutely love these. And then the Eclipse ones, these things are beefy. Love them. For those nice little utility shots where you got to flex something or you need something that's absolutely positively going to turn a corner. That's what these are for. So as you can see, a lot of async on these. I use these a whole lot. My favorite disc. Nothing else is even close. Next, for kind of straight to understable and a little bit faster. So I think of these as like the big brother of the Crave. That's the Insanity. Again, I carry 3 of these. So this Insanity old Neutron, this is not pre-flight numbers, this is not a patent pending run, this is a later just Neutron run. These, a little bit of turn, comes back to center, maybe a little bit more overstable than the others. This one is an old patent pending Proton run. This thing flips over. Maybe comes back to center if the conditions are right or if I flip it. Great disc. But I like that for more understable shots. Not like super turnover, but like slow kind of pushing turnover. And then there's this. Another Insanity, which is 159 grams. This thing is for turnovers. Love this disc for that shot. Give it, a little bit of height and just let the disc do the work. And then another workhorse in my bag that I use a lot are Teslas. Love this disc. And again, this is another one. If I find patent pending runs, the old runs, I stash them. I have this one with an old Dead Sexy dye job on it. I got this so long ago. This is probably one of the oldest discs that I have in my bag. But this one is a beefcake. 300 to 320, but this thing is not turning over at all. And then I have this one, which is, I don't know where it is in comparison to when this one was pressed, but same era, the old nice neon pink run. This one is a little more beat up, and this one will still, it's going to fade. It's going to hit hard at the end, but not gonna bite as hard as the other one. It's going to go a little bit straighter, a little bit longer, and then it's going to finish out. But that is my stack of fairways. So let's get to the big guys. Okay. So I don't carry a ton of distance drivers. I have what I have, and I like what I like as far as that's concerned. First and foremost, the one I probably use more than anything is probably the Photon. And I have 2 of those in the bag. But this is an old patent pending Neutron run. This is my favorite distance forehand disc. I will be able to rip on this up to 340, 350, 360 on a really good rip on a forehand, and typically doesn't turn over, finishes out. I'm pretty accurate with these. I like this a lot. Then there is this. Oh, baby. Hard to find these now. This is a very early on patent pending run of Photons. Fission Photon, for that matter. And this thing, it does not fly anything like this one. This one gets a nice turn to it, and it finishes out. I can get this thing to hold that turn and just keep going on that turn the entire time. They don't make fission photons like this anymore. This was, like, in my opinion, the money run. These were a wonderful thing. And if I find these, I hoard these as well. So to that, I carry this, which kind of functions similarly, a little bit more finish to it, but this is a Zenith. This is like my Fission Photon with just a little more overstability. These things I always tell everybody, they kind of fly like a beat-in Wraith. But yeah, great disc. Kind of worried about switching away from this specific one because I heard the later runs are more overstable. So I like to carry these in about a 169-ish. So I still get a little bit of turn and a little bit of finish. And finally, my go-to really far distance drivers are octanes. I carry 3 octanes in different stabilities. So starting with this guy right here, Neutron, more recent run, Beefcake, total Beefcake. Love these things for wind shots. This thing is a wonderful disc for that. Next, Fission, 174. This one is starting to beat in to where it doesn't hold up quite as much in the wind, which is fine. I just give it a little bit of hyzer and it does its job. But these fission octane runs are great if you haven't tried these. And then my baby, as far as distance shots goes, a Proton octane, patent pending run. I love the red pink with the metal flake, the sparkle. And this thing, you can see the stamp is pretty much gone. This has been used to death for quite a few years. But this thing flips over, rides to the right, and then gets a little bit of finish to the or at the end of it. So this is a great one for like slight hyzer flips and stuff like that. If I got a tailwind, you can rip on this thing and get tons of distance. So that's another wonderful piece of my bag that I go back to time and time again. Let's check out kind of the ones that are maybe working their way in or maybe working their way kind of into considerations. Okay, so things I'm kind of messing around with. I have, like I said, mostly an MVP Axiom bag, but there are some things that are kind of working their way in. I'm messing around with, see if I like them or not. First and foremost is a couple more Doomsday discs. The Cataclysm. This is much like the Zenith is, where it's kind of a beat-in Wraith, I guess. Nice disc. You can really rip on these. I get tons of distance out of this thing. Really worth checking out. If you're kind of a Wraith thrower, you might want to look into the Cataclysm. It's worth looking into. And the other one that I have that I'm kind of playing around with is the Doomsday Blackout. This is a 8-speed control driver. It's kind of domey, so it is flippy. This thing glides forever. It's a nice little control driver. I could see somebody using this in the woods quite a bit. I've used it for turnover shots. I could see getting a lightweight one of these and having a roller. But the plastic feels unreal. It is so gummy and tacky, and I wish that like more discs had this kind of plastic. It just feels so damn good. Worth checking out. But that's all the stuff that I've kind of tried to work in and out for this season. All right, so that's what's in my bag this season. I do want to take a second and thank my sponsors for this season. Breaking Aces, my retail sponsor. There is Dark Ace Apparel. They have kept me looking good all season long. There is DG MaxWax. If you have grip issues in the summer or winter, DG MaxWax is a great solution to that. And of course, Team Ace in One. Adam does dye work. He does fabrication. You name it, he can do it. So if you need anything done in those regards, just contact him. He does wonderful work. That'll wrap up. I will see you in the next video.